If only we could do it all, man. If only we could do it all. Um, so I did some deadlifting tonight and just some, rehab stuff for the lower back like I'm doing here. But I've been watching, thinking about some of my older lifts, specifically some from this year, like on squat, the 315 for a 6x5, the 315 for like a 30-second paused rep, the 315 for a set of 15, the failed 385 double. That happened to be my 1RM PR. The 275 for 20. Just thinking about those lifts, and then I look back even farther. 2 years ago, I deadlifted 400 pounds for a single. That was at the state, high school lifting competition. I also benched 255 on that day. I think the closest I've ever come to deadlifting 400 pounds is probably 385. I don't even know that I've hit 385 since then. I know that I've tugged on 365, a handful of times. Maybe pulled 370 once or twice since the 400 pull, but I'm not too sure about, 385 or whatever. On the benching, the 255, I think I've benched 240 and 245 since then. I believe I could still probably rep 225 for like a double or a triple. But I look back and I was like, man, those are some good lifts. I'm only been weighing anywhere from, at the time of that 255 bench and 400 pound deadlift, I weighed 148. Going into this year, I was, pushing 155, 156. On a really heavy day, maybe even 157. That was kind of rare, though. And those are good lifts, man. But then I look back at my, running times, and I think about, just going out and hitting a 6 or 7 mile run, just because I had, the free time to do it. Like, there was no thought behind it. It's just, hey, I got time for a run. Let's go see how far I can go. I remember I went on a school field trip one time. We were staying in this real nice hotel, and it had a gym. And, I told the teachers I was going to get up at like 4 in the morning and go down there and, hit a workout before everybody got ready. And I went in there and hit a quick workout and then hopped on the treadmill to go for a run. And I realized that I still had way more time than what I originally planned. And so I ended up running for like an hour and a half on this treadmill. Nobody else was in there really. There was, I wasn't listening to music. It was dead silent in that workout room. And I probably put in like 6 or 7 miles on that treadmill, just on a whim. And I kind of miss having that endurance to do that. I feel like anymore I've sort of got to prepare a little bit for anything over like a 4 to 5 mile run. And I definitely take more damage from a run like that. If I go for a 6 or 7 mile run, my calves are going to be real, beat up. My feet are going to be feeling it a little more. But I was, a little bit lighter going through those running phases. And so I recovered faster. So I miss going and, hitting those big runs just on a whim. But I miss lifting heavy too. I mean, just like strong, like robust, just, I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. I just kind of miss having that raw strength. And so I think I'm getting ready to go through a deadlifting block. I've had the lower back flare up recently, and I got to thinking, I was like, when was the last time I even, pushed deadlifts? It's been quite a while, probably close to 2 years since I've really, went into a deadlifting phase. And so I start thinking about, the numbers and such that I want to hit, and I'd like to squat 405, this year if possible, which I don't know that it will happen this year, but, I'd like to see 405 eventually on squat. But I think about squatting 4 plates, and then I have to ask myself, where is my deadlift in comparison? And if my deadlift is lacking by a lot, then that means I probably don't have the lower back strength, to squat 405. And then, so, here comes the thing of, well, I wish I could do it all. I wish I could come in here and just, go ham on deadlifts and, just build up an insanely strong deadlift and, happen to be pushing to squats at that time as well. And, I'd love to still, go run 20 or 30 miles a week. But now that I'm out of school and, working full time and all of these things, I don't necessarily have the resources to sustain that type of output. I just cannot eat or drink enough in a given day to exert that much, to burn that many calories, let alone recover from that and come in and do it again the next day. But, that's kind of how life is as a, non-professional athlete. You don't get to spend, 4 to 5 hours a day doing recovery work, and then another 3 to 5 hours of training and mobility and stretching. You just take what you got and you do what you can with it. So I'm considering going into, a pretty heavy lower back building phase, namely with probably the deadlift, and then some stuff like the Jefferson deadlift or the Jefferson curl, whatever you want to call it. Just these certain type of movements to, really build a capacity and range of motion within the lower back to prevent injury. So, that's one thing. I'm still going to keep running at least 5 miles per week, at least, 2 runs at minimum through the week. So however I split that up to get 5 miles or more. And then the squats, they may have to sit on the back burner for a little bit, which is unfortunate because I want to get back into squatting heavy again. But I can't push the deadlift, still maintain, some running training, and push the squats at the same time. So I'll have to split it up. So like I said, go into a lower back building phase for now, and maintain the running for what I can, and then maybe later this year jump back into a heavy squat phase. But again, I come out here and lift completely by feel. If I don't want to deadlift, I come out here and I may not deadlift. I may decide to do some pull-ups or something. It's kind of hard for me to stick to like a very strict form of training or a very strict method of training. I really like to just come out here and do whatever feels good. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I appreciate you for watching.